A very good morning to you. I hope you're well. The time has just struck 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Maybe you're still snuggled in your little nest. Maybe you've just gone down, you're eating a buttered croissant. Or either or, I know, delightful. But either or, whatever you're doing, maybe you're going to have a nice, peaceful, relaxing day today. Maybe you want a craft that you can sort of do anywhere. A craft that you don't necessarily need a craft room for. A craft that you can do on the go. A craft that you can pick up and put down whenever you want to pick it up and put it down. The choice is yours. The craft I'm talking about is cross-stitch. Now, before you go anywhere and you go, oh, here we go. I don't do cross-stitch, Adam. I've never tried it. It's too hard for me. Give me 15 minutes of your time, and I'm hoping to change that in the next 15 minutes. For the sheer fact, all the kits that I'm about to show you are basically from beginner all the way through to advanced, and everything in between. Whether you've never cross-stitched before, I've got something for you, even the way down to massive, beautiful tapestries that we've got on here. All on the Christmas themed, but what I want you to do is I want you to take that knowledge and then you can adapt it to whatever you want it to be. Because what you're really doing is add another string to your bow. Once you've got that string to your bow, you're then just manipulating all the different designs that you've got there. And I'm not alone. We're talking Caterpillar cross-stitch is what we're talking about. And all the way from Caterpillar cross-stitch, we've got Sally. How are you, love?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
Good. Let's go. First time we worked together, so let's wind it all the way back.
Okay.
How did this all start for you?
So I started Caterpillar cross-stitch back in 2015. I was on maternity leave with my first child, and my mum was stitching birth samplers for all of her 8 grandchildren. And I couldn't find a birth sampler that I liked. So the first collection was of 5 sort of alphabet nursery-inspired designs. And I quit my job and launched this a year later. And then I've just added to the collection over the years.
So is it something that you've always done? Have you always cross-stitched, or is it your mum that got you into cross-stitch?
So my mum and my nan have always cross-stitched. We've done decoupage, sewing, paper crafts, all of it. So I cross-stitched when I was really little, and it was just one of those things that sort of fit the bill. And then with her trying to do the birth sampler and realising that there was a gap in the market for sort of more modern, bright designs that were accessible for everyone, it seemed the perfect business to go into.
It really is. And we are talking Christmas. These are some of the other things that we've had on the shows previously and yet to come as well. Different prices for different budgets with these. Now, the first item I'm going to show you is a cracking little stocking filler. It's also a beautiful bottom drawer gift, you know, just in case gift, or even just a cheeky little gift for yourself. They fly out the door time and time again. These are your needle minders and little storage pouch. First of all, the storage pouches that they come in. How cute that you're getting these. So this is what's a perfect giftable. Absolutely beautiful giftable. Secret Santas, if you know someone that you've got someone in the Secret Santa, maybe you've not drawn it yet, but you know someone in the office that you work in, the environment that you work in, is going to use one of these. It'd be well worth getting one of these today, all going for the collection that we've got here. Now, we've got a few options to choose from. If I tilt them forward, the first one is the Hedgehog. They're all under the same item number. Look at the little Hedgehog with a little headband on. This is cute. So what is a needle minder? Let's cross that bridge first.
So a needle minder, I've got the Nutcracker here. Essentially, it's a hard, glossy enamel exterior. And then there's one magnet that's on the back of that front piece. And then there's another super strong magnet that comes away, and you'll see how strong it is there, which you can remove on the back.
Yeah.
So the front piece can go on the front of the fabric. The back magnet goes behind. It doesn't damage the fabric at all. It stays completely in place. And then when you need to have a break or change the colour of thread, it clings to it so strongly. And I've had people that have had different needles and different projects. They've moved house, they've travelled to another country. The needles have stayed there no matter what. So any craft that involves a metal needle, you need a needle minder.
I wouldn't say needles either. I'd also go for pins.
I was going to say pins, dressmaking,
sewing.
sewing.
If you're a sewer, this is going to be perfect, because then you could sort of adapt it. You could sort of wear it on a wrist, like a watch,
People
if you
put them on
wanted
their sleeves, so you can have it on here with a magnet on the inside. You could have it on your lapel. And also sewers or dressmakers, they'll put them on the sewing machine.
Yes.
To put your pins on. And they can hold quite a few, actually. I've got 2 on here.
So they're worth having a little look at these ones. So first of all is the Hedgehog. They're nice little badges, to be honest. You've got your beautiful little Hedgehog. From your Hedgehog, you've also got your owl. Same amount of it. He's always been busy. He's been busy already. Been buying for the hour. Your gingerbread man, already 10% of Mr. Gingerbread Man has all. Oh, gingerbread person. Let's be politically correct. Gingerbread person has now already got. I don't want the emails. £9.99 for your gingerbread person. Then you've got your nutcracker. I think he is a man with the beard, although looking at the X, it could be the same. £9.99 for your nutcracker. Then further down, we've got your little Robin. That's on there, your little Christmas Robin, and then you have got your little caterpillar as well. £9.99, 788976 is your item number. Very busy for those. So if you do want them, I would get in quick for those as well. Now, let's start out with our first sets of kits. These are absolutely stunning. This is the peach stuff that we're looking at, brand new today, £15.90 is what we're looking at. 775238 is your item number. And now, it is the first time I've worked with this website. Let's go through the kits themselves. So, do we get everything I need in the kit?
Yeah, you have absolutely everything. The hoop that's displayed in does not come with the kit, and the reason for that is people either might have their own hoops or frames, or they might want to stitch in hand. You don't necessarily need a hoop to stitch it or to display it in. And people might choose to display it in another way. They might create a cushion or mount it simply, like some of them behind me, or frame it.
It is absolutely beautiful. So we get everything we need in the kits, including a needle. We're also, so what are we stitching into? So
the fabric is called Ada. So the brand of that is called Zweigart, which is made in Germany. The threads are all DMC, which comes from France.
Talking high quality threads.
Yeah, I mean it's the best quality. I really wanted all the products to have the best of everything, because it really does make a difference when you're stitching. You know, if you get cheaper threads, they can snag, they can sort of knot. The needles as well are branded DMC, so it means when you're threading the needle, it's easier. And the amount of stitches you're doing, it does make a difference.
It is amazing. So we're getting needles, we're getting threads, which once again, if you know your threads, you know we're talking the best of the best when we come to your threads, and we're also talking your Ada that's in there. We're getting full instructions included in the kits as well.
Yeah.
Is it written pictures? How do your instruction packs work?
So it's step-by-step instructions. There's also illustrations. There's extra details on the website. We've got video tutorials. We've got extra support afterwards. But the instructions have been tailored over the years to cover everything anyone could possibly need if you've never even cross-stitched before.
Which is amazing. So these are all your instruction packlets, and let's just touch back on to the base of you're never on your own with this one, which is I absolutely adore with all of this. So once we get a kit, and say we've read the instructions, and you know what I'm about to say because I say it every time, we've read the instructions and we've been through them, but we're still not picking this up.
Yep.
So there's websites out there, the YouTubes are out there, and you can go on this full video tutorials of just how to stitch, or is there other, like how to finish? If we've never done this before, sometimes we forget to say, well, you've done it, but what do I do with it now?
Yeah, absolutely. So the video tutorials that I've created start right from scratch. From opening up the kits, there's literally demonstrations of Stitching 101, exactly how to use your threads, how to thread the needle, different types of starting. So there's a loop start I've done here, how to finish the threads. And then it goes all the way through to finishing options as well. So all different methods, if you want to hang it on the wall, gift it, wall hanging, framing, mounting, washing,
as we said, where do we find it? What we're looking for, what we're searching for.
So that's on our YouTube channel, which is just called Caterpillar Cross Stitch.
There you go. Quick and easy to do. So have a really good look at that, because you're never on your own with these kits. And that's what I like. You get a kit home and you're not on your own, because it's quite daunting to go, oh, I like that, mine will look like that, but then what do I do with it once I've finished it? Do I need a hoop, or how am I going to hang it? They talk about hanging it, putting it on cushions, putting it on the wall. I don't know how to. Well, it's all there for you, step-by-step instructions along the way, so you're never on your own. £15.90 is what you're looking at, 775238. Now, there is expended delivery on this one, the 13th of October. What's that, Monday? Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday. Next week. It's Wednesday. No, by the time we get over the weekend and the time you get Monday out the way, hump day, innit? It's something to look forward to. Right then, let's move on. I like this next one, the little jumper that we've got here, because once again, I think once you've got the basics of this, you can run with it.
Yeah.
Because there's so many other options. Remember, you're getting full threads in there. You're getting your Ada, you're getting your needle, you're getting your instructions. But what you're really buying into with this now is a jumper. So once you've got the one jumper, All you need is more Aida and thread, and you can design whatever you want. The world is your oyster.
Absolutely. You could switch out the colours if you wanted to. There's really, really generous amounts, and they're ready sorted. So each of those numbered holes or slots relates to the symbol on the key as well. So if you make a mistake, there's plenty in there. If you wanted to add the year, maybe underneath the jumper, or initials or something like that, make it really personalised, you can do that also with the thread.
It's worth having a little look at. £15 and 90 pence. 987918 is your item number for this one, for your little Christmas jumper. I like this idea. This might be the one that comes out every year. This might be the one that you pass down from generation to generation. This is the one that's going to go on the wall, that's going to come out the box first at Christmas, and that's your sign of Christmas. You know, we have that little thing that you go, now it's Christmas. For mine, it's that big red van on the advert. Then you know it's Christmas. It used to be Toys R Us, but that's now gone. But it might be that thing, so you might pass it down from generation to generation. But then you may want to go slightly bigger. Now, this is now frameable. This is absolutely beautiful. It's the names of the reindeers. It's Dash Away Kit. £32 and 90 pence is what you're looking for this. But look at what you can create. Every single name of the reindeers that's on there: Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and obviously Rudolph as well. But what I want to draw your attention to is, first of all, the fonts. Everything is different, so you're going to learn new fonts along the way. You've also got the houses along the bottom. So maybe you've got Ada at home. What's she doing there? Maybe you've got a piece of Ada at home. Maybe you just want the houses, and you just want Father Christmas, but you want something else in the centre. Remember, it's your design. Once you've purchased it, you can do whatever you want to do with it. So maybe that's what you want, and then you want your Christmas jumper in the centre. Maybe you're going for 2 or 3 of these sets. Maybe you're going for the Father Christmas and you want the houses, and then you want the bird in the centre of this. You can do that as well. The choice is yours. The variety is there. But you get everything you need in these kits, including more as well. 905881 is your item number. I love this one. This is absolutely beautiful. Once again, complete kits is what we're talking about, and full instructions as well. It is frameable. These are frameable pieces of work.
These are ones you'll really be proud of at Christmas time. Like you say, it goes up on the wall. You might hand it down to someone, and then it's that sign of, OK, Christmas is here now. And everyone who comes to visit over Christmas, because we can now, will be really amazed at the work.
They're a talking point, I feel, as well. Because remember, if you're thinking, well, that's well and good, but what am I going to do? I don't want it on the wall. Would you turn it into a cushion? You can turn it whatever you want to turn it into, but you imagine this frame, the little white box frame, would look absolutely stunning around this one. £32 and 90 pence. 905881 is your item number. You're already going for the next one, and we've not even shown you. The 12 Days of Stitchmas is what we're talking about. £32 and 50 pence. Now, we don't have a finished sample in the studio, but I can show you what it will look like once you've put it all together. So these are your 12 days, basically your 12 days of Christmas, but in bauble form is what you've got here. Now, we could break this down once again, I'm guessing, because I'm guessing we get enough Ada. If we wanted to take them single baubles and frame them that way. Could we do that?
You could do potentially, yeah. I mean, there's plenty of allowance around the edge on all of the fabrics themselves to allow for any finishing style. We have had people before, actually, with this particular design, turn each of the baubles into Christmas tree decorations.
Oh, that would be cute.
Like
cut them out
padded
and backing them, and then that would be absolutely beautiful. You've got 12 Days of Christmas. £32 and 50 pence is what you're looking at for this one. Once again, all the threads, and it's modern but not modern, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. It's still traditional Christmas, but it's not over-the-top modern, so it's not going to stick out like a sore thumb in your home with your traditional Christmas tree. It's going to blend in beautifully with any room that you put it into. £30 and 50 pence. 458539 is your item number that you're looking at on this one. Oh, look at that. Now we're talking. A little easel there. Love this one. Absolutely adore it. Let's throw the question in, because it's all right saying it on the CV. Beginner friendly?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, with this one, because they're all sectioned down, if you didn't want to feel overwhelmed when you just got the kit, just start with one. And you could even stitch it along sort of those days of Christmas. You could start on the 1st of December and just do maybe 2 a week or something like that. And just take it one bauble at a time.
Maybe that's going to be your advent calendar. maybe that is going to be your advent calendar and you're going to stitch a bauble a day or a bauble a week or whatever you want to do. The choice is yours. It's worth having a little go. Very busy for this one now, but we're also busy. I think this is my new favourite. I think it is. This is Deck the Halls, the kit. I absolutely adore it. Look at this. Once again, it's highly modern, but still very traditional. And you've done that so well, because it would look well in anyone's home. Whether it's nan and granddads, to mum and dads, to aunts and uncles, it doesn't matter whose home it is. And it's a beautiful giftable as well. If you're looking at, let's say, call it £42.90, because I would throw one of the needle minders in there as well. And what a gift.
Yeah.
What a gift for someone.
Absolutely. We've got the gingerbread needle minder as well, matches perfectly with Deck the Halls. You can see there in the bottom corner. And it's got the exact same design, the same colours. The enamel paint matches the DMC thread colours perfectly. So while you're stitching, you can use him on there as well. Deck the Halls is actually the bestseller, and the gingerbread person is the bestseller with us. It's really popular. And if you wanted to change the words slightly, I know some people in the US say trim the tree. But, you know, again, it's kind of in the countdown to Christmas. What are you doing in the build-up? What's exciting? And the colours are traditional, but with a little twist. Sort of the lime greens and the pinks really lift it.
I absolutely love it. £32.90 is what you're looking at for this one. Remember, jump on the website, tap the app, or give me a phone call. 0330 175 5552 is our brand new phone number, is what we're looking at for this one. But if you want this, it's 958 511 is your item number. Right then, I've got more on the show. But before we get there, we are phenomenally busy. So let's go. Let's change tack, as it were. Let's go to demonstration, first of all. Right, then, what are you up to first? OK,
so the first one I'm going to demonstrate is 12 Days of Stitchmas. No, it's not. Sorry, it's Deck the Halls, what we've just been talking about. So I'll show you the kit as it comes. So on this one, you've got the new style thread holders. Some of the smaller kits do have the other style. With this one, it's really easy because these threads are wound round. Like I say, there's plenty of allowance in there. And all you need to do, you have these slits on the side. So it's also like a bobbin. And you unhook, you can wind out exactly how much you need. So in terms of the length that you'll need to get started with, I always say from your hand to your elbow is a nice length to start with. And what you're going to do is start in the centre of the design. So these are professionally printed, they're colour patterns, they're blown up, so they're really easy to see and follow. And to find the centre, we simply look for the black arrows, which are on the top and the left sides, and then there's thin red lines which cross in the centre. So the middle here is just under the word snowman, but the sample here we've got is of the snowman's face. So I'm going to continue just underneath that. And if you look on the pattern itself, you'll see that the colour the white colour is the symbol N. So if you wanted to double check, all you need to do is just take a look at the key and it will show you really clearly all of the symbols here. If you were interested, you've got all the DMC codes as well. There's around 500 different DMC shades, so it was quite hard to narrow these down because the N is white and that is on slot 13. So you can just correlate that to here. If you've got extra threads left over, you can hook them onto this hole as well.
That's handy.
And keep them for next time.
We may have been through this, but I'm going to ask the question again. We have moved over time. Is there a certain part? Obviously, you're starting with the snowman, but do we have to start from the centre and work our way out? So would we start? How would we start? I would recommend starting in the centre. Okay. This sample's already been stitched. No, that's fine. It's just so we know. Yeah, normally. So you'd have your fabric. Obviously, it's much larger than this that's in the kit. This is just a small sample piece, and you fold it in half and half again, and then you correlate that to the centre of the pattern. So always check as well if it's portrait or landscape. So this one we know it's portrait, it's vertical. So make sure it's the right way up, and then you'd be starting just under the word snowman there. Okay, good to know. So each of the DMC strands, the pieces of thread on here, actually come in 6 strands, but you only need to stitch with 2. If you're using a loop start that I've done here, which basically just has a loop at the end, it's 1 strand doubled over. So I've got the nutcracker on here, and all you're going to do a cross stitch, essentially you're just going from a bottom corner to the opposite top one and crossing back over that to complete the stitch. So we've already got some of the design here, so I'm just going to carry on underneath.
So if you come up from the back, pull that through. Now leave the tail on the back there so the loop is still there.
Okay.
Just like you would sort of with embroidery or sewing. There's a bit of blue there. So that is my bottom left corner, and then I'm going to come down in the top right-hand corner. But I'm still holding that loop on the back. So that's a half a stitch. And then when you come over, simply put the needle through that loop, and it secures the back. Now that way you haven't got any threads dangling. You haven't got to darn it in under stitches later on. So that's a half stitch. Then to complete that, if you wanted to do one stitch at a time, simply come up through the back in the top left and down through the bottom right. So there is the first stitch. What I find easier, if you were stitching this section of the snowman here in white, you know you've got a decent length of thread, you could stitch a row of 6 stitches. So you can either do vertical rows, horizontal rows, and do them all in half stitches and then come back over them again.
Okay.
So it does save a lot of time that way. So if you wanted to do rows upwards, you do a half stitch there. And with the pattern as well, I would look at a section and go, okay, I'm always sort of repeating in my head, and I'll go, right, 5 across, 3 up, 5 across, 3 up. And then you don't need to constantly be looking back at the design, at the pattern. It's more relaxing that way because you know.
And would you mark off the pattern once you've done this row?
Lots of people do. So you can use any sort of pen, maybe a highlighter people use, or pencil or something. Okay. Obviously, if you wanted to use the design again or stitch an element again, you might not want to mark it, but you can do. That does make it easier. So I've got 3 half stitches there. And then I'm going to come back down and just cross them over. And it is really relaxing because actually it's not difficult to do at all. You're simply making, you know, crosses. And you can do this while watching box sets, listening to podcasts, audiobooks.
And it's something you can do anywhere.
Yeah, you can take it on the train. You know, if you've got a long journey and you want to be productive and make the most of the time, you can absolutely do something creative and productive.
£32.90, 958 511 is your item number for Deck the Halls. Remember, you get complete kits in there as well. You're getting your full set of Ada. I can show you your actual size of Ada that you're going to be getting. So you're getting a big old piece of Ada that you're getting there. All your needles are in your Ada as well. So remember there, they are all in. So you are going to get needles included into your kit. So you're getting all them, and you get all the thread plus more as well. Remember, sometimes you only need 2 strands from a 6 strand that you've got there. So it's really going to last you a long time. So you really have got time to have a little practice if you wanted to, if you're just new to this, or maybe you're going to start straight away and you're going to go straight in. Full instructions is what you're getting in there, and you're also getting instructions online as well, so you're never on your own. We've had a question in. What was that one? How do we do the words? Is it in the same way?
Exactly in the same way. So the words are made up of, well, essentially they're squares, but they're made up of stitches, so it's in the exact same way. So in a sense, it's almost easier because it's thinner. So you'd just be counting. So what's that? That's 7 up, 1 across, and then that's about 12 stitches. So in the exact same way, so it's just in block form.
It's just in block form.
It's just pixels. So you can't really go wrong.
There you go. I hope that answers your question. Margaret, Brighton, thank you very much for that one. So it works in the same way as you do all the others. So the same way as you do the tree, the same way as you do the snowman, the same way as you do the stocking. But remember, you're starting from the middle and you're working your way out. So I'm guessing you would start with the M in snowman.
Yeah. I'd start with this bottom corner of M, yeah.
So you'd start with the M in snowman and then work your way around sort of that area there. So it would either be snowman or mistletoe is what you'd be starting on, the eye of mistletoe. So you work your way around there. Now, is there a way that you go, once again, I don't want to teach you how to suck eggs, that's not what I'm here to do, but we might as well ask the questions if you've never done it before. Do you go up the stitch or down, or doesn't it matter? Once you found that middle point, you can do whatever you want. You
can do whatever you want. So I'd suggest doing the same colour and finishing that section off first. So if you were starting with the M of snowmen, I'd do all of this brown and then you'd probably do all of this white to go around it here. It doesn't matter which direction you go out in. Generally, if you're right-handed and you're holding it with your left, stitching with your right, I would do the left side first because you're holding the fabric and it's easier. If you do the right first, you've got your hand and arm going over them. In terms of the stitches, you can go bottom left to top right and, you know, the other way around, or vice versa. We do recommend that people go, if they choose a way of stitching, that they stick with that, because when it's finished and you've got sort of the light on it, you will be able to see on the sort of the shine of the threads. It will look neater if they're all consistent. But it doesn't matter which way around you do it. As long as you can count and you can literally form an X, the fabric's gridded, so you can't go wrong. The holes are already there. You can create anything.
There you go. That sums it up, doesn't it? As long as you can count and you can make an X, you're good to go. It's as simple and easy as that. It literally is that easy to do. £32.90 is what you're looking at for this one. 958511 is your item number. That is your deck the holes. Right then, do you want to do the needle minders? Of course we can. I've got them here for you. These are your needle minders that you've got. So you've got your owl, your gingerbread man, your nutcracker, your robin, your little cutie caterpillar, and your little tiny hedgehog. There he is, look. You can wear him as a little tiny bat. Look at that. If I was clever enough, I could make him dance, but I'm not. £9.09. Nearly a third of the stock of my little hedgehog now has already gone. The owl that's on there, nearly a quarter of the stock of the owl has already gone. Your gingerbread man. He's very, very busy now. So is your nutcracker, your robin and your caterpillar. They're all very, very busy. £9.99 is what you're looking at for those ones. 788978. What was that, Megan? I can show you. I can do that. Of course I can. I can do that for you. So just so you see it all matches. There you go. Look, that's where the ideas come from. So there is your little needle minder, and there is your little. It's like he's looking up to him. One day I will be you. £9, one day I'll have your job. But they work together, they work in conjunction. So if you are going for this, you may want to go for the matching needle minder as well. Right then, pressing on, this is cute. This is absolutely beautiful. If you have a craft room, this is what you're going to be creating. This would be beautiful on a little bolster cushion. You know the cushions you're not allowed to sit on? You know the ones that sits on the shades lounge in the corner of the room. You're not allowed to sit on that either. It's just decorative purpose only. That would be beautiful on this because it's sort of that craft brown card that you've done it onto as well.
It is, and if you look at the corners as well, it's like a scrapbook feel to it. So it's a scrapbook sort of photo album filled with all of your memories, all your favourite arts and crafts. There's everything in there. We did a poll in the community of what sort of their top 10 favourite hobbies were, and we tried to cover absolutely everything in this design.
I think you have. We've got paint, we've got tape measures, we've got crochet hooks on there, we've got scissors, pencils, photography, jigsaws, by the looks of it.
Yep.
You've also got these. Oh, they're bobbins, they're threads.
Yeah, threads.
Little threads on there. I was like, what are they? Paint rollers? No, they're little threads. You've got buttons on there as well. Needlepoint on there. It is absolutely beautiful. It really, really is. Once again, full kit is what you're getting, included with full instructions that you've got as well. But I like this one because then once you've got this one, you can take smaller elements of this and change it to whatever you want it to be. So maybe you only want the paint palette and a paintbrush. It does say the word create, but you could take that down and just use the paint palette if you wanted to, or just use the threads. Or take the threads and put them somewhere else on another project that you may want to do. £34.90 is what you're looking at. 375681 is your item number for your create. And then a returning favourite, this one. This is one of our best sellers that we've done here. I'm going to go straight in. This is your Hello Dear that you've got there. £34.90. I love the name. 840852 is your item number. Let's ask the question. Beginner friendly?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, you can just stitch each element at the time. At a stage. So this one I would start probably in the middle by the robin. Now that robin in the Santa hat again matches that robin needle minder perfectly. Same colours, same design. And then what we tend to do is sort of work counterclockwise so you can round the tree one element at a time. It's not overwhelming and it's quite satisfying because then if you're just doing the poinsettia or just doing an acorn or something like that, you can finish off a section rather than you know, feeling like you're not really getting anywhere. There's quite a lot of small wins with this one.
It is beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. It would look beautiful in a child's bedroom as well, like a little nursery or somewhere like that. Just once again, just framed on the wall. You could put a little date on there if you wanted to, maybe on one of the presents that you've got. You get everything you need included in the kit as well. Remember, we're talking the highest quality thread, the highest quality aider and the highest quality needles. And you've got help and guidance along the way. 840852 is your item number, £34.90. Remember, you're a womble. Remember, if you're going for more than 2 of these, it will open up a flexible basket. Because you're over the £34 mark, so then you're going to be splitting the cost into 2, which means you're going to get 2 of these home, but you can split that cost. It's well worth having a little look at this. So if you're thinking presents, one for you, one for somebody else, it's worth having a little look at Flexi on these sorts of things. And then if you throw in the minder-ins as well, the needle minders, it's well worth having a little go. Something else that you may want to do, I keep talking about going your own way, as it were. You may need some extra aid, and now that you could do this. 171901. I'll start that again. 171909 is your item number for your extra aider that you've got there. This is good if you want to take your pattern and just adapt it. Maybe you're going for the jumper and things like that. This is the best way to go.
Yeah, I mean, the full kits are the best option. You've got everything you need. And also the designs and the colours of the thread have been chosen specifically to go with these fabric types. If you wanted to stitch it again for personal use,
yes, or
perhaps just a gift to a family member, you can do it again and then purchase your supplies. But yeah, you can absolutely make it your own.
No, it's well worth having a look. £20.77. 177909 is your item number for all 5 colours that you're looking. Right then, our 12 Days of Stitchmas has been very, very busy. Nearly a quarter of the stock now has already gone. £32.50. 458539 is your item number. Remember, everything's on extended delivery just next week, next Wednesday. Not that long to be. It's Saturday now, let's be fair. By the time the week's gone, yeah, you'll never know. £32.50. The 15th is when it's on extended delivery too. But shall we have a little look at the 12 Days of Stitchmas and how easy it is to put together? Right then, what we're up to this time?
OK, 12 Days of Stitchmas. And I've got my little pumpkin needle minder here. So again, we've got these brand new style thread holders, really, really easy to use. And again, if you've finished off using these threads, you can keep the card. You can put, you know, sewing thread around that or whatever you need. So here I've started off the Swan, because it's one of my favourite baubles. And again, you can do these, as you were talking before about just doing an element for a greetings card or something like that. So if you, here on the pattern, you're looking for the centre again, the red line straight down the middle, it's portrait in orientation. You would start near golden rings. You'd start near the hand here. So you'd look for the symbol, and then you would look to the key to double check exactly which colour and where that sits relating to your thread holder, matching perfectly. So what we've done here is we've got the Swan.
Do the instructions tell us how many threads we need?
It does. It says they come in 6 strands, and you only need 2.
So we only ever need, in all the kits, we only ever need 2 strands?
Only ever need 2, yeah.
Well, that's good.
If you were using a really high count fabric, you might only go down to 1. Or if you were stitching one of our junior stitch kits for children, you might need a full set of 6 strands. But for all of ours, you only ever need 2.
That's good.
It gives you decent coverage. You're not going to see the fabric behind. It sort of, you know, puffs out and pops out nicely. So yeah, always 2.
It's going to leave you with a lot of thread left over.
There's a decent amount. So like you say, if you wanted to add a name or do it again or whatever. But you know, there's nothing wrong with making a little mistake. So if you need to frog it, we call it, because of rip it, then you can do that gently with sort of a scissors or a cutter, and you can do it again. And it's all about patience and just enjoying the process. So I'm going to stitch the Swan bauble here, which is day 7. And we've got the colour here, which is DMC 3838, which is this gorgeous rich blue. So again, I've already got my needle threaded with 1 strand looped over, so it's 2 strands in total. So we're just going to carry on here. Now you can see there's a row down here of half stitches. So it does make more sense, it's more efficient to do it in rows vertically or horizontally. So if I come back down, and I'm going to cross over those here. So I'm coming, always starting from the back, leaving that little loop, just holding on to that, and you've got the tail here. coming down in the bottom right-hand corner, and then making sure to push the needle carefully just through that loop, and it secures the back. No knots at all. If you were doing knots, it might affect how it looks. It might look a bit bumpy when it's finished off. And all I'm doing here is coming from the top left to the bottom right. And you do get into a real rhythm with this. It's really sort of meditative and calming, because you don't really need to think about it. Once you've got your pattern, you know you're doing, for example, 10 stitches, you can just relax, and you know, it's good to use your hands and keep busy.
If you want to get this, £32.50 is what you're looking at for. 58539 is your item number. This is the 12 Days of Stitchmas is what we're looking at on this one now. So you're getting all 12 of the baubles that we've got in there. Remember, you're starting in the middle. There's full instructions and online tutorials as well. So you're never on your own with any of the kits where they're full detailed instructions. But you can see once you've found that rhythm, you're good to go.
Yeah, it's really... It does take some counting, and we have a bit of an inside joke, don't talk to me, I'm counting, that we say to our partners. But once you sort of counted that row, and what you can also do with this one is simply count and stitch around the outside. And then you know you just have to fill it, so you don't have to count anymore. So once you're doing that, and they're perfectly symmetrical as well, so you know if you're doing 2 up on this side, it's the same on the other side. Or if you haven't got a lot of time, you can just do some of the leaves, and you've still got that sense of satisfaction in an evening with the fire on, you know, probably going to be indoors a little bit more coming into winter now. It's nice to have a project just to, you know, it's there, it's something to do.
I know this question's like, how long is a piece of string? And I suppose how long do you stitch for? But if we went at this every day, how long would it take us to complete?
If you did it every day, say
for a couple
of hours in the evening, just, you know, not putting any pressure on yourself, just doing it relatively slowly, maybe a month.
So a nice little project to keep you going.
They're definitely not sort of quick, you know, do it in a couple of days and you're done. But you do get really good value for money because it is a decent project. It is going to give you that creative outlet for a number of weeks. And you can pick them up and put them down as much as you like. You might have 2 on the go, and it just depends what you feel like doing that day. And then you get inspired and think, oh, I want to go back and do a few more baubles. It's just up to you, really.
Is there a kit that you would say that if we're just starting out, like our very first kit, where would you go? Would you go with the 12 Days of Stitchmas, or would you go for maybe the Dove or the Jumper?
I mean, we do get this question quite a lot, and it's funny because I always say start with the smallest one, also with the fewest number of colours. So I would say Piece Dove is fantastic for beginners. What then happens is people go, yeah, you're right, I should start with Piece Dove, but actually I really like Deck the Halls. The thing is, it's a larger project, but they are just crosses at the end of the day. So like you say, once you've got that technique down, you can do anything. But I would say for beginners, Piece Dove is probably the best one. Cozy Christmas Jumper, you've got a bit more detail in there. But again, it's perfectly symmetrical. So once you've got one side, you're simply repeating it.
I suppose I sort of answered my own question, to be honest. Like, you sort of go for what you enjoy, because then you're going to finish it. Go for the one that you go, well, I'm not a big fan of the Dove. I'm not really a fan of, I'm not really a bird lover. Well, don't go for the Dove then. Go for a different one. Maybe go for the Jumper or go for the baubles. Whatever you feel that you enjoy the most, go for that one, because you then know you're going to sit and pick it up. You're going to sit and do it. You want to finish it. You'll enjoy it that little bit more, because you know, but you'll get the satisfaction out of it, rather than go, oh, I've got to do this because I've never done it before I move on to the one I really wanted to do. So really just go for the one that you enjoy. And Sally said, at the end of the day, it's just crosses. It's crosses and counting. As long as you can do a cross, and long as you can count, and you haven't even count that far, as long as you can count to 10. That's all you really need to be able to do. And I know I put it in its basic form, I put it in its rawest form, because most people, when you say cross stitch, I still do now. I know our Alex loves cross stitch. She does it all the time. She really, really does. She absolutely adores it. But the minute you say cross stitch, I'm like, it's difficult cross stitch because you've got to count it. It all looks confusing. It's really not when you actually break it down. It's the chart that I think that makes it worrying. But all the chart really is just a bigger picture so you can see. And once you've broken that bigger picture down, it's like quilting. Don't see the finished quilt. See it down in blocks. And that's what you do with cross stitch. You see it as smaller blocks. Once you've got those smaller blocks, you're laughing. The rest of it will put itself together. £32.50, 458539 is your item number for the 12 Days of Stitchmas, is what you're looking at here. And he said everything is in the kits for you. You're only going to need 2 strands of thread. And you can see how much thread you're actually getting on all of these. Some of them you're getting a large bulk of the thread, but you only need 2 strands of them. They're all numbers and colour coordinated for you, so you haven't even got to rifle through and split them out. They've all been done. I'm guessing they've all been hand wound, which means, are they all hand wound?
Some of them have been, yeah.
So you know you're going to be able to find the ends. There's none of that awkward, oh, I have to cut it here because I can't find the end. The ends will be there.
Yeah, they're all tucked in, and we check absolutely everything to make sure it's perfect. So, yeah, no fussing. Haven't got to sort of think about where is everything, how do I get started. It's one of those, you open it up, it's getting going straight away.
And it's a perfect little giftable for anyone that loves cross-stitch. It's well worth having a little look, and I would also be throwing one of these into your basket as well. And the details of these are at the bottom of your screen. 788976 is your item number for £9.99. Hedgehog now. Now 50% of my hedgehog has already gone. You've got the hedgehog, you've got the owl, you've got the gingerbread man, you've got the nutcracker, you've got the Christmas robin, and you've also got the caterpillar as well. £9.99. How are we getting on with that swan?
Not badly. I've managed 2 rows so far, so you can see how quickly it grows. You do need patience, but it is one of those things, you'll be watching a TV show or something, stitching away, and actually by the end of the night you'll realise you've finished a bauble or you've finished a full section. So I'm just finishing off and completing these full stitches down here over these last 2.
Do we have to do it in a hoop?
Not necessarily, and what I'm going to do now for you is take off the needle minder,
Maverick,
unscrew this and show you exactly how easy it is to stitch in hand, which is actually my preferred method.
Oh, is it?
It just looks a bit neater in a hoop when you're presenting.
It does on the telly.
What I do, and again, you've got clean hands. If you do need to wash these afterwards, you can. The fabric is robust enough. The threads are colour fast. They're not going to run. We've got tutorials on washing and all of that as well, ironing. So I just roll up the side and just hold that in my hand.
Ah.
If you were out and about, you might want to use a hoop just because it keeps the tension there. But I find that I stitch a lot faster with it in hand. And actually what you can do like this is you can go through 2 at once. So you're doubling the speed there.
Ah.
I mean, basically, if you can do diamond painting or painting by numbers or colouring, you can do this. It's no different. You're following the symbol, following the colour, and you're away.
It really is, and that's it. Once you break it down, it's like anything, and it is a hobby that you can pick up and put down. It is one of these that you can go back to at any time. Maybe you start it now and then something comes up. You can pop it down and you can bring it back again. £32.50. This is the 12 Days of Stitchmas is what we're looking at now. 458539 is your item number. We're moving on up. I like the next one. That we've got here. These are the Dash Away. These are all the reindeer names, is what we've got on here, with your beautiful Santa Claus riding through the night with his sleigh, and then you've also got the village scene along the bottom. £32.90. 905881 is your item number. You've got Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donna, Blitzen, and also Rudolph as well, with those beautiful houses. So you could continue the houses if you wanted to, because once you've learned how to do them, maybe that's going to be a border for a new home that you've got there. Shall I lift it up and just show you? There you go, look. So maybe you're going to do that as a border. Maybe you've got your own Ada, maybe you're going to buy some more Ada. And you've got some threads, but you're going to do this one first. So you get the pattern, you've got little Santa there, because you could pick out the words. No doubt it's in there, Home Sweet Home. Once you've learned how to do them, you can then sort of do your own. I absolutely adore this because the concept is there. And once it's another string to your bow, which is what I love about crafting. £32.90. 905881 is your item number for this one. Something else, I've got to keep referring back to them because they are very, very busy. Your needle minders, a great little giftable for £9.99. Robin now. Nearly 40% of the robin has already gone. Very busy for all of these. You've got your robin, you've got your caterpillar, you've got your gingerbread man, and you've also got your owl and your hedgehog as well. Right then, £9.99 for them. 788976 is your item number. Let's have a little look though at more cross stitch. This time we're going to dash away.
We are. So you can see here that we've got Santa and the reindeers at the top, and I've got Mrs. Prickles, as we like to refer to the hedgehog. So this is one of the other style thread holders, and it will be easier just to show you again sort of how to use that on the jumper and the dove. So all of the threads here are cut and wound by hand. They're in 1 metre lengths, and again, all of your numbers down there, so you can easily see what's going on. So with this one, and on the packaging as well, you have all of the sizes, finished sizes. So if you did want to buy a frame, or you're looking for mount board or something like that, you know exactly how much allowance and how big it's going to be.
We've had another email in.
Yeah.
Who's the email from, Meg? From our Phyllis. Morning, Phyllis, love. How are you on this Saturday? She's asking, are the kits on 14 count Ada?
Yes, most of them are on 14 count Ada, which is the fabric we recommend for beginners. It's really easy to see the grid. It's great for eyesight any age. The only one that's on 16 count Ada is the Made to Create, which is sort of this brown craft paper looking fabric. 16 count Ada is slightly finer. You've got 16 stitches in a 1 inch area, which means, you know, it is a bit more intricate, but some people much prefer the look of stitching on 16. Personally, even though I've been doing it for years, I still love 14 count Ada, just because it's easy and you make the most progress and, you know, get that sense of satisfaction quicker.
There you go, Phyllis, my love. So most of them are on 14 count Ada, apart from the Create one, which is 16 count. I hope that answers your question. Keep your questions coming in, studio@thecraftstore.com.
So we've got the instructions here and then the illustrations, just showing you again how to make the half stitch, full stitch, and then finish off in the back if you were using the 2 strands and not the loop method.
Okay.
I have DMC 3766 here, ready threaded, which is in hole 11, if you needed more of it, just here. And I've put the extra threads just here side by side, so they're wound round. If you know you've used 2 strands from your bundle, you can put the rest there so that you know what to use next time. And if you need to cut it in half as well and only use 50 centimetres, you can do that if you want a smaller length.
Okay.
So for the centre, when you've got the full kits with the larger piece of fabric, you would be starting again, following the arrows and the red lines, just under Vixen, just under the N of Vixen.
Oh, okay,
again.
so we're starting in the middle of Comet. Or we're starting in the end?
Yeah, just at the top of Comet, yeah, absolutely. So here on the sample, we have got Dasher already and Santa and the reindeer. So I'm just going to continue here with Dancer. And I find the easiest way here, you have got white on the inside, but it's to do the outside with this sort of turquoise colour first.
Okay.
And then you can fill it in. And when you've got that gap, you don't need to think about it then, because you can just do it in white. So I've got 3 stitches at the top here, and then if you just simply count here, I'm going to come across and I've got 6 stitches across the top.
Love these.
So bottom left-hand corner, leaving that loop on the back. And you're always, if you're right-handed, always using that left hand and these mainly these fingers on the back, just to guide you where that needle wants to go. And you do get into a rhythm with it. Sometimes people sort of say, well, how do you know from the back which hole, you know, it's coming up through? But I use that middle finger, and it's just guiding it there. If you did want to use a thimble, you can. The needles aren't that sharp. They're not sewing needles. They are blunt, so you're not going to hurt yourself or anything.
It's good to know. I'm guessing, though, if you're... Once again, I'm trying to break down walls before you even put them up. So if you're thinking, well, that's all well and good, but I sort of need both hands these days to do cross stitch because the thread. No, you can get the stands. So remember, you're getting the stands, and the amount of Ada that you're getting here. Check out the website. No doubt they're on the website. But you could put the Ada into a stand and do it that way if you wanted to, as well, like one of the sort of seat stands that you can get. So you could do it that way if you wanted that little bit more reinforcement, as it were.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think also with the hoops or stitching hand, you're moving it, you know, I'm trying to keep it quite steady here, but you naturally move it further towards your face and further away depending on eyesight or needs. But if you have got that stand, you can sit really comfortably. And as long as you've got a good light source, you can have a hoop on a stand, you can clip that in, you can have a scroll frame, there's lots available, I'm sure you have. Which just mean it's steady there, and if you've got your drink, your phone, your remote, whatever you need, it's in one place.
And the one thing you're also going to need is your needle minder as well. Very busy for those. You're loving them.
So I'm just coming back over this row here, so bottom right, top left, completing those stitches. And I always say as well, it doesn't matter how messy the back is. People sometimes get quite caught up on needing to have the back perfect. It doesn't matter really, as long as you're enjoying it. No one's going to see the back. And it also doesn't matter if you're a couple of stitches out with something. I think the mistakes, there's no such thing as mistakes, it's just making it your own.
Well, that's the thing, and that's the enjoyment of it. That's the process that we go through. And I said, if you are a stickler for detail, there's more than enough thread in there for you to do to take it out and start again, that little tiny bit maybe, or that one little stitch that you want to go. But I suppose if you're only one stitch out, you just could go one stitch higher.
Yeah.
And with all of them and make it look
There's enough gap between all the elements. And often in our Facebook group, people will say, oh, I've made a mistake, and no one can spot what it is. And it's like with yourself, you know to stop yourself.
Can you spot the mistake, but you just don't want to say?
I genuinely can't spot the mistake.
Good to
know. No.
You know, when you go, oh yeah, I saw it at the time, but I'm too nice to tell them. But it also adds character, because it means it's personalised, it means it's your own.
It really does. And people change. What have I seen? I'm trying to think of some of them. On pretty much most of the designs, probably the larger ones. I don't know if they've got a pet or a decoration, or they might want to do beads or sequins or something like that. If they have metallic thread that they want to use for, I don't know, Santa's hat or something in particular.
You could put on...
Yeah, and if you wanted to do backstitch, if you're into sort of sewing and embroidery, you can do that too. I mean, everyone's got their own personal style, and it's just all about making it your own and enjoying the process. And
that sums it all up. Enjoy the process. So whether it's cross-stitch, once you've got that pattern, once you've got that Ada, it's yours. So maybe you want to put a little bell on Santa's hat. Maybe you want to put that little sparkly red, that thread, round the little reindeer's neck. You can do that. Maybe you want to underline the word Dasher and follow it around in variated threads so the colour changes and width through. Maybe it's gold and silvers you got. The choice is yours. Maybe different members of the family want to do different words. Maybe it's you and your mum, you and your aunt. I don't know, it could be anyone, you and the next door neighbour. Well, good luck with sharing that one, but you know what I mean. That you've got there, but you could both get a kit and you could both sit and do it at the same time and help each other out, like a little community that you've got. £32.90 is what you're looking at for this one. 905881 is your item number. And don't think they have to be ready for this Christmas. Maybe this is a gift you're going to buy for Christmas and this is going to be next year's present. So maybe you're going to start doing it from January onwards. You're going to give yourself 11 months to do it, and then December you're going to put it all out. You can do that as well. It's worth having a little look. Don't think it has to be done by the end of next month to go on the wall for the 1st of December. Because in the grand scheme of things, no one's going to know you've got it until you've finished it. So you take your time, don't rush it, enjoy the process, and that's the whole thing about cross-stitch. 905881 is your item number for Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner and Blitzen, and also Rudolph as well. And you've also got, remember to add in your needle minders. Very busy. Hedgehog now. Nearly two-thirds, I need to choke then, nearly two-thirds of the stock of your Hedgehog now has already gone. Owl and Robin, half the stock has already gone. Be quick with these because I think they may go. Okay, £9.99, 788976 is your item number. 12 Days of Stitchmas we're going to go back to because we've not got long left of the hour. These are going to be one of our best sellers of this hour. £32.50. I'll start that again. 458539 is your item number for this one. Brand new today. Everything's brand new in theory, apart from returning favourite down the end. Hello, dear. But £32.50 £13.50. Brand new is what you're looking at for the 12 days of Stitchmas that you've got there. So each one of the baubles represents one of the 12 days of Christmas, and it is absolutely beautiful. 458539 is your item number, and beginner friendly as well. Maybe you want to just start in the middle. Remember, you start from the middle, so by the looks of it, you start just under the hand of 5 gold rings. So you start just under that bauble, and then that's where you go. Then you progress out from there. Something else that's been busy is Deck the Halls. I love this. Look at this. I'm going to destroy everything because look at how beautiful that is. And there's all online tutorials to tell you how to back it, how to mount it, how to frame it all up. £32.90 is what you get. It is nice, isn't it? Maybe on a door hanger or on the back of the front door that you're going to use on there. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It really is. Or a door to a kid's bedroom. Maybe that's going to be their Christmas decorations that you've got. Or even if you've got a large wreath. If you've got a large Christmas wreath, that's going to go behind in the centre of the wreath that you've got there. £32.90. I know, look at me. 958511 is your item number for that one. It would look absolutely stunning. And because it's Ada and it's got those fine holes in, I also reckon if you put some of the little fairy lights behind it, they would also shine through. Oh yeah, it would be cute, wouldn't it? Especially when things like this, like the craft. You imagine going in with your little fairy lights and you just put them in the back in your little create that you've got there. £32.90. That was close. 375681 is your item number that we've got. £34.90. Brand new today as well. I like it on the brown. It gives you sort of that craft rustic look that you've got going on there, like you have just taken it straight from the craft room. Last but no means least, our returning favourite, hello dear, that you've got there. Absolutely adore this one. I think it's absolutely beautiful for a newborn baby, because I reckon you could also turn that into a hot air balloon quite easily. Take away the trunk, little baskets going down underneath, take the presents for ideas that you've got there. £34.90, 840852 is your item number. Sally, we're nearly at the end of the show. We've got about 30 seconds left. Sum it all up for me. If people are still umming and ahhing, what would you say?
I would say give it a go. The people that we have in the community who've started stitching have never looked back, and we get emails every day just saying how much pleasure it's brought to their life and being in the community generally, and they get absolutely hooked. So it's a great craft to have, and we'd love to have you join us.
Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks for having me.